guys, welcome on here today. It's actually a wonderful day in the market. Finally, we are at week 15. You can see these are birds. You can see how they're actually doing very nice, feeding and eating as you may like to see them. Finally, these birds are back to eating very well. So actually I'm going to show you how the feeders looks like. So you can actually see I came out here to feed this bird very early, and right now you can see the feeder is just almost empty. These birds are doing marvelously well. Week 15 and we are actually going very well. You can see these birds doing just marvelously well. You can take a look at the feeders, and I'm very happy to see something like this, because these are birds actually doing well. You can look how they really are in this video. So right now, looking here, you can see this bird is also trying to learn how to perch in here. You can see it's actually moving out because it's scared. Seeing the poop of these birds on here is actually trying to tell us that these birds has actually mastered these laying boxes. You can see I'm actually going to put sawdust or wood shavings, not sawdust, rather wood shavings in here for in time to come, maybe around week 17 like that, thereabouts. And you can see where we also put our other laying boxes. So guys, hopefully you remember this laying box that I showed you, that the up here wasn't really fully constructed. You can check my last video to see something like that. So right here I just had to improvise like this. You know, this was how it is. I just had to improvise to make sure that there is at least a little bit of darkness for this bed to have privacy in here. So you can look as it is. You can see some birds trying to stay inside there to master how it looks like. So this is a side view. Looking from this point, you can see how it looks just like a hut, probably like a hut. You can see where these birds can have a bit of privacy in here. Yes, actually it's a very good thing. But finally in week 15, you can see these birds just doing marvelously well. Yes, I'm actually happy with this bird. Last night we had some kind of disconnection of the water system in here. Currently, if you look right here, you will notice that there is no water. These 3 drinkers right here, this one like this, including this one, there was no water. These birds have learned how to perch on here, and this pipe got broke from this angle and there was no water in these 3 lines. I had to use a nylon to block off the mouth of this pipe so the water don't flow out and cause a wet damp on here that could lead to coccidiosis in the farm. We don't actually want that, because our birds are actually going and they're getting really strong to their laying points, and we don't want any instance or anything whereby these birds will be held down due to some incidents or maybe some disease or just something of that nature. So guys, we just have to do everything, make sure we put everything in place. You can actually see the bodies of these birds. You can see how they're just very big. Okay, so I'm not very happy. You can see how they are flying and moving around. You can see this bird very active, as you can see, flying all around. So guys, a reminder again for you to know that I did this just by myself without no mentor. I just had to learn and make sure that everything is in place. And finally, you can see us. Our birds are very active. Don't forget, we are still above 500 birds. We brought 500 plus birds into this farm. Yes, and currently we are still in 500 plus. Yes, we're actually doing well. 500 was the actual target for me and for my market, to what I can supply to the market. Okay, so I had to add those plus at the back to make sure that I get the exact figure of that 500. Yes, the exact trails of eggs that I'll be needing to supply to the market. So all thanks to God that it's actually still giving me the 500 that I require. So I had to just call a plumber for me to actually fix. He actually just came around to fix this. So I had to bring this rope, this new rope. You can see I'll have to tie it round to make sure that, because these birds actually, they will definitely perch on here because it's actually their natural way of living. So I'm actually going to lose this rope around here. So I'm actually going to place it round to make sure that it holds. You can see this rope, this is not actually strong enough, you know, so I'm actually going to get a rope. You can see I use different types of ropes then to make sure that this is kind of firm. So I'm actually going to do it round to make sure everything is in order, you know. And you can see our litter also. Yes, it's still okay. We are not planning to remove it any moment, so it's actually going to be there. And you can also see our reserve down there. So it's just been well. Everything is going so smooth. You can see those birds, they love privacy a lot. You can see them top there. You can see how they're actually inside, just relaxing themselves inside there. And that's just a wonderful thing for you to see your birds grow from their point of day old to this stage, and they are still eating, doing well. So after I called the guy who is fixing this stuff to do it, I'll actually deprive them for water for some time, because the gum they placed into this pipe may be kind of toxic for their health. So I'm actually going to allow it to dry off a bit, hopefully in an hour time, before I will have to open up the water right there to make sure that it actually flows fluently back for the bird to have a good water supply on here. It's just actually a good thing, knowing and learning from people. That's one of the reasons I did this video on here, to make other people learn very well, to learn from all the mistakes I've made. So far, this month is actually coming to an end. I had just one mortality, and that was just at the beginning of the month, and it was due to debeaking. When I haven't debeaked my birds, that was cannibalism actually. So after that incident, there is zero mortality up to this point in the farm. Aside my birds reduced in their feeding ratio, currently everything is going as smooth as it was planned to be. They are now eating very well despite their beak. You can see their beak have healed, and now they are not doing absolutely well. You can see the beak of these birds that's actually healed. You can see how it looks currently. It's now able to pick up the feed properly. So guys, it's just a very good thing. Yeah, I hope you've learned something today from this video. It's the right time for you to actually start, because you know, when I started, you were here with me and monitoring everything I've been doing. It's not really a hard process, and I hope you'd have learned. This is just the full guide is on this my channel of starting this layer business. It's just very good, and before you have the type of profit you want, aside doing it as a hobby, you have to take it as a priority and take it as a business. Yes, this is actually your 5, well, I'll call it a 6 to 2 business, because most times I'm done with everything I have to do in the farm by 2 p.m. and I'll have the rest of my time throughout the day. I have the freedom of movement. That is what we actually want as a human. We need the freedom of movement, the freedom to do what we want, and the financial freedom. We need financial freedom as well. So this is actually just a starting point you can also achieve with these egg laying monsters you can see here. They're actually going to help us achieve what we want. So guys, you can see the birds still eating non-stop. Yeah, that is the happiness. That's what I want to actually see, these birds eating every day and every time, to make them grow as usual. Okay, thank you for watching. Do well to hit the subscribe button, and do have a wonderful day. Catch you up on my next video. Bye.